I recently lost my knee sleeves at the gym because oftentimes, maybe you're like me, I go to the gym and I work out so hard that by the end of my workout, I'm physically and mentally just exhausted. And what that leads to is me walking out of the gym having left, misplaced, or just been irresponsible or absent minded regarding my gear. So I've walked out of the gym having lost a lot of stuff over the years. But the last thing that I lost was my knee sleeves. And these knee sleeves were nothing special. They were a moderate pair that I purchased for about $30, and I would say they maybe were equivalent to a $50 pair of knee sleeves. Still, not the highest end by any means. And I got them because they were Exuis and they were recommended as a budget friendly sort of pair that were comparable with some better, sort of more expensive brands or pairs. So I like that. And I tried them out. And what they did for me was basically they got my knees a little bit warm or easily put them on and helped my knees warm up for exercise. They also offered just a little bit of compression, and I like that. And you know what? When I lost them, it's not like I couldn't lift anymore, but I felt like a tool was gone. A little bit of a tool that helped me lift with better form or with more confidence or just feeling like I was warm and ready to go. That was gone. So I wanted to replace them. So to start that process, of course, I wanted to, well, learn from what I had experienced. That I like the knee sleeves, but if I was going to get another pair, should I get a better pair? Probably. So what I looked into was researching what was pretty standard, common, and recommended in the lifting community. And there's some options, but if you're not going to get the most expensive option, what should you get? I wanted to get something that was still budget friendly, not cheap, but also really high end. And what I landed on was these Rehband model number 07084. These, I don't know, they gave me the impression that these are like the godfather of knee sleeves. They've been out a very long time, they've been very popular, and if these didn't work so well for so many people, they wouldn't be so popular and still used and recommended. So, what I liked about that was just feeling confident in the quality. These are also 7 millimeters in thickness, which is, I guess, standard for, say, powerlifting. And I'll tell you, like, that doesn't make them uncomfortable. That doesn't make them too thick. I'm pretty sure that if you had 4 millimeters, if you went down from 7 millimeters, you would feel that it's too thin and doesn't offer the same sort of support that these do. And these are, by Reband, these are actually IPF approved, so you can compete in these. That's the quality of these. If you get a pair of knee sleeves that are, competition approved, that speaks to the quality and the respect that you should have for the item. For me, what they've done is basically three main things. They've done the same thing of keeping my knees warm. You just put them on when I'm, doing a set to warm up, or even I could go do a little bit of cardio for a few minutes, throw them on, and it just super speeds the pace of me feeling like my knees and that joint is warm. The second thing that it does is it offers me just the same, a little bit of compression. I mean, this is not a a knee wrap. You don't wrap this around your knee and feel like you're super strong and that you can do everything and that it just launches you right back up. It doesn't do that. But what I will say is that when I have these on, I feel a certain level of support and confidence, and I do tend to lift with better technique and with more power. It helps me just stay in the groove. That's the biggest thing. I don't know what it is because this is just neoprene compression, but what it does for me is it allows me to feel confident that when I descend and when I ascend in my squat, that I'm doing that in the groove that I want. And that's critical. I mean, that's huge when it comes to squat. And the third thing that this does for me is this is a little bit unique, but because I'm so slender, I mean, I'm skinny, always will be. But what it does for me is when I'm in the squat position, when you're pretty deep, like balls deep, you have this position where it's like your thighs sit on the back of your calf. And for me, if you're super skinny, you don't have all that thickness of a thigh and calf running into each other, touching each other, giving some feedback, giving some cushion, giving something to launch off of, to bounce off of that. I don't have that unless I go super deep. I mean, I have to squat really low to feel my thigh to the back of my calf. And I don't think that is a position that I necessarily have to get into. So when I have these on, it's like I feel like my legs and my calves are just a little bit thicker, and when I get into position, I do feel the thigh and the calf touch a little sooner. And when I get that feedback, that feedback helps me out a lot as far as knowing my position, my depth, my confidence, and, just feeling like now it's time to rock it right back up. But when I don't have these on, it's like, well, I mean, think about that. There's this level of thickness that is missing from, the back of my knee. And that's just something that allows, when I get that feedback, it feels so different. And it's something that, maybe only super skinny people can relate to, but that's been a benefit for me. Now, as for these, do I have any complaints? None. I don't have any complaints about these. I love using them. And I said they don't make me superhuman, but they do help, and they just offer me a little bit of support. And it's just something that if you're going to be lifting seriously or a lot, and if you're somewhat serious about legs, this is a tool. It's not a tool that you have to have, but it can make a difference. And sometimes you get to a point when you need little things to make slight differences to make the next progression because, I've been training a long time. I've peaked. It's hard for me to improve. It's hard for me to do something better or heavier. And when you get a tool, that also helps keep you safe, you pay attention to that. And this is also a safety for me. So it helps me stay warm. It helps me prevent injury. And it helps me, I think, perform better. Maybe it does that for you. If so, I think maybe you might want to think about knee sleeves. Maybe they're for you. And it's not that you have to get these rebands. I'm not sponsored by anybody for this video. It's just my review for them. I think this is a really solid pair. There are other solid pairs out there, and if you like other pairs, that's great. If you want to share your thoughts about what's the best or what you don't like or what you think about these, throw that in the comments. That's great. But it's just all about sharing my experience, and I think that a lot of people could benefit from knee sleeves, and if you want my opinion, I think I made a pretty solid choice in these rebands, model 07084. All right, that's my thoughts. You all take care, stay in the gym, work hard.